Welcome to Thriver's Ed, the podcast that's all about giving you the practical, no-nonsense advice you need to level up your life and business. I'm your host, Marcy Rossi, success coach, business strategist, and alcohol-free enthusiast. If you're ready to crush your goals, optimize your productivity, and live your best, most authentic life, then you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into topics like the psychology of success, practical strategies to boost your performance, and the unexpected ways living alcohol-free can elevate your life. Whether you're looking to boost your business, improve your health, or simply become a better version of yourself, Thriver's Ed is here to help you do just that. So grab your iced coffee, buckle up, and let's get thriving. You ever have one of those days where it feels like you're crossing a bunch of things off your list, and yet by the end of it, it feels like you've made exactly zero progress? You were busy, maybe you're even proud of the number of things you were able to check off, right? Maybe you fixed a broken link on your site, you spent an hour designing a new Instagram highlight cover, maybe you even reorganized your Trello board or finally chose the perfect brand font. And it feels like you've accomplished something, at least in the moment. But then night rolls around and you realize, well, you didn't really pitch yourself to anyone. You didn't talk to any potential clients. You didn't really send a follow-up email. You didn't post that offer that you've been getting ready to post for 3 weeks now. Instead, you kept yourself busy, but not necessarily productive. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's easier to feel productive than to face the real discomfort of stepping out, getting seen, and ultimately hearing crickets. Because we've been sold this idea that checking the boxes or crossing items off our list is what progress is, and that being in motion is the same thing as moving forward, but it's not. It's just not. Sometimes being busy is just a clever way that we use to protect ourselves from risk. We convince ourselves that finishing that Canva graphic or organizing all of our folders and files is urgent, when in reality, it's just easier than truly showing up. It's easier than inviting someone into our offer. It's easier than selling. It's easier than hearing the word no. But the truth is, until we do that scary thing, that real thing that drives our business forward, we're just spinning our wheels. So I want to talk about the idea of confidence because I think it's one of the most misunderstood components in the entrepreneurial world. So many new business owners that I meet and talk with are sitting on these really great ideas. They have these incredible offers and they have true value to offer, but they're waiting. They're waiting to feel ready. They're waiting to feel like they know what they're doing. They're waiting for that inner sense of confidence to arrive before they actually take that next big step. But confidence doesn't come like with a permission slip. It doesn't get unlocked because you finally found that one course that teaches you everything. It doesn't come from reading a bunch of blog posts or organizing your content or consuming 5 more free trainings. It comes after the action, not before. It grows every single time that you show up imperfectly. Every time you send a pitch that ultimately gets ghosted. Every story that you post when you feel like absolutely no one is watching. It comes from when you push publish even when you know it's not perfect. When you go live even though your heart is in your throat. When you send the pitch before you feel like it's perfect. You build confidence by doing that uncomfortable thing, by putting yourself in the arena, opening yourself up to feedback, and realizing that you're more capable than you ever thought. That you can show up scared and still survive. That you can hear, not right now, or that's not for me, and still keep going. Every time that you wait until you feel confident, you're reinforcing this idea that you can't handle the discomfort. It's the same thing that I've spoken about with alcohol, at least in my previous version of my business, where you feel like you can't be brave without a drink in your hand or sociable without a drink in your hand. And every time you use that drink, you're reinforcing the belief that you yourself are not enough. You just have to prove it to yourself. If not, you're just going to keep yourself stuck. And stuck is not what gets you paid. It's not what grows your audience, and it's not what builds a business. So what if instead you decided that confidence isn't a requirement, but a result? What if instead you led your business with courage instead of certainty? That's where the momentum comes from. Now, I want to talk about another piece that relates to this courage, And it's a trap of learning, the endless loop of learning. So you tell yourself that you're just being really thorough, that you want to make sure that you're doing things right, that you don't want to mess up or make a mistake that you could have avoided if only you had learned, this XYZ thing. So you take another course, you binge another podcast series, you map out this incredible offer on a Google Doc, but you don't actually publish it. You listen to 5 more interviews or read 5 more business books, hoping that one of these will have the exact blueprint that you need to follow. And still, you haven't launched. You haven't sold. You haven't gotten a single real-world data point about what's actually working out there. Because learning feels safe. There's no risk in this classroom environment. There's no rejection when all you're doing is watching another training video on how to develop the perfect niche. There's no vulnerability in a $37 mini course. But business isn't theory. It's built in practice. It's built in those messy, unglamorous moments of testing, trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. So if what you're really wanting is clarity, some kind of certainty about the next best step, you have to start with action. If you want results, you first need experience. And if you want confidence, you need proof that you can survive imperfection. And the only place that you're going to get that proof is by doing the thing, the real messy action. Not hiding behind research or learning, not letting learning become this delaying tactic of putting yourself out there, not convincing yourself that you're not ready when really you're just scared. Now, that's not to say that any of this comes with any judgment. We're all scared in the beginning because we're doing something new, and being vulnerable is uncomfortable, and being rejected is uncomfortable. But if what we really want is to build a business that has an impact, we have to allow ourselves to get a little bit uncomfortable so that it can flourish later. And if not, then we're engaging in what I'm considering productive hiding. So this is where you're creating this perfect workflow. Now, I love workflows, but hear me out on this. You're spending time creating a perfect workflow, or you spend an entire weekend redesigning your homepage because you read somewhere that a certain color might be the reason why your buttons aren't converting, or you are adjusting the font on your sales page for the 12th time. These things feel important. They feel like they're moving your business forward, and to some extent they are, right? But often they're really just a way of staying hidden, because the back end of your business is private, right? No one can criticize your Zapier automations. No one can reject a sales page that you haven't published yet. And no one can unfollow your Instagram content if you haven't actually put it out there, if it's still in draft mode. So that's where you stay, in the drafts. You build and you tweak and you adjust and you optimize. And all this time, you're not actually risking anything. But you're also not giving anybody the chance to say yes, because you can't get paid for work that no one sees. You can't get feedback on a program that you haven't actually launched out into the world. You can't book clients from a perfectly branded form that no one ever visits because you never tell them about it. So here's what I want to put out to you. Real progress looks like imperfection. Real business building is doing the thing before you actually feel ready, because that's how you feel ready. And all of that visibility that feels so uncomfortable, that's where the good stuff is. The connection, the growth, the impact, and the income. None of that comes from hiding. And that's why I created this shortcut. Not because you need more training, not because you're doing it wrong, but because you deserve to get out of this overthinking trap and into the action that actually brings the results you're looking for. The shortcut isn't about adding more tasks to your plate or just another thing you need to do. It's literally about taking the work off of it. It's for those coaches or online service providers or someone who knows that they have something powerful to share, but they're stuck behind all these unclear next steps and fear of doing it wrong and overwhelm of all of the different pieces it feels like we need in order to put our business out there. It's done for you setup, strategic coaching, and a true partnership. So your systems are smooth. Your website works for you and actually leads to conversions. Your email funnel is leading people closer and closer to your ultimate solutions. And you finally have the bandwidth and energy to do the thing that you actually started this business for in the first place, which is helping people and making money while you do it. Because when the back end of your business is handled for you, you get your energy back, your creativity, your focus, your courage. And it's in that space that you start to make sales. You get to serve clients, you build momentum. That's what the shortcut is about. It's about taking about these things that allow us to productively hide and removing them so they're no longer an option, so that you have no excuses anymore. You're putting yourself out there and actually doing the things that lead to the results that you started this all for in the first place. So your Thrive at 5 for today are 5 quick ways to shift out of this busy mode and into true business growing energy. The first is I want you to take a deep, hard look at your to-do list. I want to know which ones of these are truly connected to sales, visibility, or client relationships. And go ahead and put a star on all of those. And anything else can either wait or honestly probably just get deleted. Up next, stop mid-course. Like literally the course that you're in, stop it. Yes, I said that. If you are in the middle of another training or have a list of trainings that you want to take or have purchased and you're just sitting there in your inbox, I want you to pause it. I want to know what would happen if you start implementing what you already do know. I'm assuming if you're taking a course, it's not your first course. So there is probably a lot of knowledge that you've already built out that you haven't yet actually implemented. So I want to know what would happen in your business if you actually went and implemented it. You would probably learn more and feel more confident in just a week of action than you would in months of more courses and learning. Number 3 is put something out into the world today. Like today, right now, publish something. Doesn't have to be perfect. It could be a story on Instagram. It could be a short email about your offer. It could be your sales page finally hitting publish instead of trying to fix the colors for the 30th time. Just do it, because imperfect visibility is 100 times more effective than perfect silence. Number 4, make sure your offer is stupid simple. Like I want my offers to be no-brainer yeses. It should be clear to understand, and the value should be very clear as well. So is it crystal clear, however you're promoting yourself, about what you do and how someone can work with you? If not, choose something that you can simplify today. Make sure that it is dead obvious how someone can work with you and remove any of those little barriers there with just one thing. Maybe that is making sure that you have a clear link in your bio if you're on social media. Maybe that is putting your offer front and center on your page instead of hiding it, making people look for it. Just take one quick action to make sure it is obvious how people can work with you. Number 5 is start acting like it's already working. What would you do differently today if you truly believed that clients and customers were coming? And based on that belief, go do that thing. What would you do that's different? Go do it. Borrow that belief from that future version of yourself and start acting the way that she would be acting. Because you don't need another productivity hack. What you need is some momentum. You need systems that are going to support you taking action, not delay it. And that's what the shortcut delivers. So if you're ready to finally get out of your own way and start selling the things that you've built or the things that you've been dreaming about building, I want you to head to the link in the show notes and apply for the shortcut now. Because that business that you want, it's not waiting in your inbox or in your course downloads. It's not hiding in yet another freebie. It's right here on the other side of your next brave move. So let's make it happen. If you have any questions about the shortcut or whether it's the right thing for you, you could text using the link in the show notes or send me a message. I have a chat function on my website. I'm not on social media, but you can chat with me on my website. Yes, that is me. That is not a bot. That is not an assistant. So if you have any questions, let me know or just fill out an application. I will be honest with you if it's not a good fit, because neither of us win if we both dive into a project where you're not going to succeed. I am here to support you if it makes sense for me to support you. And if not, I am happy to point you in another direction. So with that, go take your next big move, and I will see you next time.